Industrial Revolution, Part 3. Well, when we talk about the beginning in the 19th century, advances in manufacturing revolutionized the American way of life. The Americans always do feel great pride on it. This is where we would like to talk about spinning jenny. When we talk about spinning jenny, thanks in part to the damp climate, ideal for raising sheep, Britain had a long history of producing textiles like wool, linen, and cotton. But prior to the Industrial Revolution, the British textile business was a true cottage industry, with the work performed in small workshops or even homes by individual spinners, weavers, and dyers. Starting in the mid 18th century, innovations like spinning jenny that I was just mentioned a little time ago. Starting in the mid 18th century, innovations like the spinning jenny, a wooden frame with multiple spindles, the flying shuttle, the water frame, and the power loom made weaving cloth and spinning yarn and thread much easier. Producing cloth became faster and required less time and far less human labor. More efficient mechanized production meant Britain's new textile factories could meet the growing demand for cloth both at home and abroad, where the British Empire's many overseas colonies provided a captive market for its goods. That's what we call the captive market, since they were the colonies of British Empire. In addition to textiles, the British iron industry also adopted new innovations. Well, these new innovations came along with great prosperity, great technological development. Chief among the new technologies was the smelting of iron ore with coke, a material made by heating coal instead of traditional charcoal, or we call it charcoal. This method was both cheaper and produced high quality material, enabling Britain's iron and steel production to expand in response to demand created by Napoleonic wars. You know, there were Napoleonic wars in 1803 and 1815, and the later growth of the railroad industry. Of course, the railroad industry needed iron ore, and it all needed to develop a lot on it. Napoleon Bonaparte had his wars after the French Revolution, and he was there to develop an empire, and that's what he successfully did. And for this, he needed the iron ore industry. We'll talk about the impact of steam power. Steam power meant a lot for transportation, running of the large machines, plots, and of course, it had a miraculous effect on the industrial growth. And as the things were going in favor of these European nations, they were making significant landmarks in industry. And this is how it went along. Britain was making great achievements. French and the other European nations were also quick to follow. And this is how they developed themselves to a very high scale.